Hello, my name is Edwin Edebiri, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer with the I Am Happy Project and also the Happy Neighborhood Project. I want to say thank you for joining us this morning. This is our way of getting the week started on a foundation of happiness. Yes. I started this several months ago, and I came across a study that showed people just struggle to get Monday started. And I said, okay, we got to do something about that. And this is our way. So if you enjoy this, if you like what you hear, please help us to spread the word. It's totally free, and there is no string attached. Okay, so today, folks, I want to talk about action and happiness. Now, this is something that we all take for granted. If we are happy, we just kind of take that for granted also. But action is one thing that is very crucial, especially when we are not happy. Okay, again, when we are happy, it's fine. We take all the action we need to take. We're working towards our goals and everything. But when we are not happy, sometimes we just froze. In short, I think one of the greatest one of the greatest symptoms for depression is people just kind of just close themselves in. They just go inside. They just lock up, and they just don't want to do anything. And so, again, my focus as far as the whole concept of happiness as a skill is learning some of the things you need to know when you don't need them, so that you can apply them when you do need them. And that's really the whole thing. I know sometimes people say, wait a second, why do you need to learn to be happy anyway? Why do you need to learn some of these happiness boosters? Why do you need to learn some of these skills? Well, because this is life. And things are going to happen. Life is going to throw us curve. There is nobody that's immune to it. I was listening to some motivational video, and I think it was Stallone. Stallone was saying it. He said sometimes life will give you a punch, He said nobody's going to beat you as hard as life itself. He said, but it's your ability to get back up and take that action, and just take that next step, And even if it's the smallest, tiniest action that you could take, moving you in the right direction. And that's very crucial. And some of you may have heard me say this before. We all go through all kind of depression. Most of it is situational depression. Something changed in our life, whether it's a loss of job, whether it's a loss of our home, whether it's somebody that live our life, even when kids move out of the home, it's a changing situation, or the loss of a loved one, which is a more drastic, change in the situation. We all go through that. Situational depression, it is called. And you're supposed to be temporary. But if you don't take the necessary action, you could get stuck in it. So some of the things that I share, folks, it is intended for you to practice it while you can. Why you can even understand what I'm talking about, why you can relate to what I'm talking about. Because there are some times where things happen and they're so overwhelming, you can't process any of this anymore. It just go in one ear and out to the other ear. It's like the person is not even talking to you. But you hope that because you are familiar with these things, you've heard it, you've put it to work, you've taken some actions, you've told yourself, hey, if this was to happen to me, this is the actions I would take, And it's almost like preparing for an earthquake or a flood or something like that. All those disaster people, they say, hey, there are certain steps you can take where you cannot completely prevent certain things, but guess what? The steps you take can help you to minimize the damage and how much you can get stuck. So when you are making progress towards something, especially something that you care about, it's an excellent way to feel a sense of accomplishment. So take step, take action, and just prepare yourself. And I'm telling you, once you understand how this works, it's empowering. What if this happened? What would I do? What if that happened? What would I do? And you just, do some practice, okay? Now, if you happen to be in the situation already, then by all means, seek help. And seeking support that's a form of action also. It doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean, you are dependent. It just means that you realize what is overcoming you, and you know one of the way to get out of that situation is to seek help. And most time the help is temporarily. It gets you to your feet, and boom, you are ready to walk on your own again, okay? So seeking help is actually a form of action, okay? So help yourself is one thing. Helping others is another thing, and they both work towards the overall happiness. One thing that I always want to encourage is that about happiness is not just an individual thing. Yes, you might say, okay, I'm happy, and everybody else not happy, I can't really help them. No, you can, because we are all social beings. You can contribute to somebody else's happiness, and as a matter of fact, we have found out that the more you do to help others, the happier you get yourself, as long as you don't overdo it, you don't overwhelm yourself, you don't put yourself in jeopardy while you're trying to help other people. But the more you help others, the happier you get. And you cannot be a one-man island or one-woman island. You can't be the only person that's happy in a place. Eventually, it's going to rub off of your own happiness. Either you're going to be able to contaminate the people, or the people are going to contaminate you. So while you are working on your own happiness, also figure out a way to help others, because in the process, it also strengthens your own happiness. Find what you can do to contribute to the community happiness. Because if we can elevate people up, guess what? It makes our work a lot easier. We can stay happier longer. You don't want to get into a pity party, okay? But in your process, if you can help one person and they become happy like you are, you've just reduced the number of pity parties. So take action. Take action to help you. Take action to help others, and take action to help the community. And by all means, folks, as you move towards your goal, I'm telling you, it makes it more exciting, and it makes you feel a sense of accomplishment. And I've noticed it. When you feel a sense of accomplishment, you tend to be happier. So as you listen to this right now, you need to identify, one or two, maybe three things, 3 actions you can take. Whether it's action that can improve your happiness or increase it, or even action that can sustain your happiness. Or think about an action you can take to help somebody else's happiness, whether to increase it or to sustain it. And then think about the action you can take to help the community to sustain their level of happiness. Folks, just the fact that you are even thinking about it, guess what? You're already going to start to increase your own level of happiness. That's just the way the brain works. And if you're thinking about helplessness and you can't take any action, guess what? You're going downward. You're going downward spiral. The moment you start thinking, hey, wait a second, I can take this action even though it's a baby step. I can take this action. I can move towards this direction. This moment that you are moving, folks, I'm telling you, you start getting happier already. So think about this, folks. Every time you get in a situation that's going to affect your level of happiness, or is already affecting your level of happiness, you need to think about what kind of action I can take. And the sooner you start to think about the action, the better it is. Because the more inactive you are, then it's like you're submitting to that situation. And you get more and more into that situation, guess what? It becomes more difficult for you to act. So this is where, again, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes improvement. So if you feel like you're putting yourself in an environment, or somebody is putting you in an environment, or somehow you'll find yourself in an environment, it doesn't matter how you get there, if you find yourself immediately start to sense that, okay, wait a second now, I'm not as happy as I used to be. What's going on? The moment you start to sense that, you need to be able to take action. Now I know you can prepare for everything, but for those you can prepare for, prepare for it. Know ahead of time what kind of action would I take. And then for those you are not, just understand that you are going to be better off acting than not. You're going to be better off taking action than not taking action. And I know sometimes we get overwhelmed and we just, okay, I'm not going to do anything. That's not a good position to be, because more than likely it makes the situation worse for not doing anything. Because if you don't do anything, that situation is never going to change itself. It's going to probably get worse. The only way that situation is going to change is you take action. Even sometimes when you are not even sure what the action is, but just by taking action, you start finding out very quickly which is right and which is not right. But at least you are taking action. So one of the best ways, folks, to sustain your level of happiness or to even increase that is to act. And so today is action and happiness. Your action. And not just focusing on you as an individual, but how can you also act on behalf of others to help to increase their happiness and sustain their happiness. And if you do this, folks, you will be a happier person. And it will be a little bit easier for you to sustain your level of happiness. So again, my name is Edwin Edebiri, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer. And today's topic was action and happiness. Taking action to increase and sustain your happiness, and taking action to increase and sustain the happiness of people around you. So it's not just an individual thing. It's people around you also. If you like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You go to youtube.com/AskTheCHO. That's ASKTHECHO. And help us to spread this word. Because guess what? The next person you share this with might just be waiting for something like this. And you might be taking action to actually help to increase their own happiness. Now, part of our tradition, we wish each other happiness, because I believe whatever you focus on is going to grow. And if you focus on your happiness and the happiness of others, that's going to also grow. So I'm going to count to 2, and we are going to say Happy Monday together. So 1, 2. Oh, I think I have everybody mute. Sorry about that. Okay. I think right now. All right. So let's do that again. I'm going to count 2, and we say Happy Monday. 1, 2.
Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday.
All right. You guys stay happy. Thank you very much.